What's up, guys? Alpha Trading Card Games, Stefanos, first place. Another budget deck.
Of course, we have to try some of the fun decks. Yeah, we can't play Playmat all the time.
Okay, what do you play today?
I played Pure Phantom Knights.
Pure Phantom Knights, that's really nice. And what is the worth of the deck?
If you exclude like the hand traps and pretty much the side, it's not even 30 euros.
That's pretty cool. Let's continue with the deck.
So we have all three Phantom Knights, 3 of each. You have to max on all of them because they are your resource play. You bunch them, all 3 of them, every turn to keep getting advantage. And the main goal of the deck is to turbo out Assault and follow it up with by summoning the new Phantom Knight Link. So you need to play as many extenders as you can. And they have to be the level 3 ones, because if you go to the grind game, then you need to make breaks or like a lot of times to pop your opponent's field.
What is the card on top?
This Kajamucha Knight. It special summons itself when you normal summon a level 3 monster, and it's a level 3 Dark Warrior. It's better than Butter Spy, mainly because it's a level 3 and has synergy with the whole Axis package of the deck, and these 2 are the common ones, everyone knows them. And the card I usually add with Isolde is BLS, so I can have another play. Usually first turn you set up some traps to try to stall for 1 turn, then you OTK them with BLS and Requiem. And the only hand trap I run is Ash Blossom. I'm convinced that hand traps can't stop the FTK, so I just want to have this one against Sky Strikers because it's the only one that can help. Like, if I go second against the FTK, then I'll just admit defeat for 1 game. That's just it. Hand traps don't really help. For spells, play Florota, Foolish, because they're any warrior, 3 instant fusion, they're an extra extender, and I play Raijin, which can be a disruption or something that will set a Colossus or a Titan to be able to play around the Thunder Dragon board. The 1 rank up, it's searchable and gives you access to some very powerful monsters. This is usually the way you OTK with Requiem or the Servant Dark Rebellion. Upstart, because why not? 40 cards. And 4 equips, 4 because if you draw 1 you will still be able to use Assault. If you draw 2 and one of them is Moon Mirror Seal, then you can send it back to the deck before you link summon, so you can still have 3 in your deck. And Phoenix Blade is not really useful in this deck because you don't link climb to any nightmares. For the traps, the Manatory, 3 Fog Blade, the Fiendish Chain, and it's a Monster Reborn as well. And for the unorthodox Phantom Knight traps, we have 2 Mist Claws. This card is very powerful because it gives you a recurrence from your banished zone, which is something that this deck needed because it runs out of resources very fast. And it's also a free monster on board along with another Phantom Knight. When you get direct attacked, you special summon it from the graveyard along with another one and becomes that monster's level, so it's always level 3. So it gives you some protection and some board presence as well. And I played 2 more. This one is the usual one, everyone knows this, because it's a searchable extender. This one is Wrong Magna Ring. It's a negate attack that becomes a monster, and it's a level 2, which doesn't really serve a purpose in the deck, but you can, as a quick effect, you can set it to the graveyard along with another Phantom Knight card, and you can draw 2 cards. So it plays around a lot of cards, and it's a new hand, so as a searchable card, I think it's a good enough one to play. I don't run the ones that protect from destruction, because I think the purpose of the deck is to not protect your monsters, is to bring them back with Fogblade, so you don't really need to protect them anyway. For the extra deck, 3 Break Sword. You need to max this out. In this deck, in PK Fire, you can get away with playing 1, but in this deck, you summon 3 Break Swords like a lot of the time. Play Dark Rebellion, Dark Requiem, and the Servant Rebellion. These 2 usually go together with a rank up. This one is, if you don't have a really good play, then you can bring back a Break Sword with Fogblade and rank it up because it's a very powerful monster that deals a lot of damage by itself. But Requiem is better because it's also a disruption that brings this back from the graveyard. So it's extra field presence, it's a lot bigger than this, and the attack boost is permanent, so there's that too. And for the links, play Isolde, you have to run her. You usually will use her another monster to summon Undercloak, and then use 1 more monster to summon Verdis. And this is the monster that you want to keep on the field, or just bring it back with Fogblade after it's destroyed, because not only does it give you advantage, but the arrow that points sideways is good when you bring it back from the graveyard. So you can pop more monsters, and well, along with the Nightmares, if you have it in your main monster zone, then you can use these 2. to pop more cards and keep drawing cards. And the whole purpose of the deck is to pretty much wipe your opponent's entire board by just leaving one monster, so you can use Rebellion and Requiem's effects to boost them so you can attack for game. Sword, Warlord, of course, because you just have to run them in the deck, and the Raijin. I think this is the best fusion. I could run the level 3 to have synergy with Breaksword, but I decided that since Thunder Dragons are becoming more of a threat, this card will actually win side games. And for the side deck, Pancratops. Against all the grind decks, this card is very powerful because you don't use its effect to pop until it's necessary. You just use it to keep attacking over everything because 26 is very big. 2 border against Altergeist and Thunder Dragons, and 2 Commongos for the extra links and for True Draco. 3 evenly. This card's pretty much good against any deck. Like it's against Sky Striker, it's a little bit mediocre, but against every other deck, it will pretty much single-handedly win you the game. And against the extra link, you need to draw 2, so you can play around the Trigate as well. 3 Barrier. Barrier is a good side deck option against Thunder Dragons, only decks that can OTK in 1 turn. Because if you play this like in Altergeist, yeah, you can stop them for 1 turn, but then you won't be able to push for a game, and they will just summon the big field during the next turn. But in this deck, if you stop them from playing in 1 turn, the next turn they're not going to have another one, because you can do so much damage. And 2 Duster. I prefer this over Twisters in this deck, because I feel like Bakro isn't that much of a problem. Even if your plays get stopped, you have traps to stall out, and you can go to the next turn to pretty much try to do your play once again. But this one if you pull this off against Sky Strikers or Altergeist during the end phase, then it's an auto win.
Okay, why did you choose Barrier instead of Apocrypha?
Well, Apocrypha has a lot of weaknesses. First, it loses to Denko, which a lot of people play, and you can just flip Barrier during the draw phase, so they won't be able to play. You have to wait for Apocrypha until they already have a board. And if they have Titan on the field, and just 1 more Colossus, if they have something to chain on with Titan and they can pop their own Colossus, then Apocrypha will miss the opportunity to activate, so they will still have a monster on the field. So it has a lot of weaknesses that I think Barrier just covers in any deck. If I were playing a deck like a Sky Striker, Altergeist that cannot OTK, then yes, I would choose Apocrypha over Barrier. But for this deck, Barrier is a lot better.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefanos. See you next week.
See you. Thank you.